Limitless, yes.
All right, people. Happy New Year, everyone. It is 2026. It is the first episode of Fusion for 2026, and I am happy to be here. I am happy to have you guys here with me. Another year, folks. Give thanks for everything. Give thanks for all that we have accomplished, and we look forward to much more achievement as we move into 2026 and beyond. All right. Now, yes, this is the first episode of Fusion for 2026, but it's part two concerning men's health. I remember when I told you guys about when we aired it last week, right? When we re-aired it last week, it was part one. I want to thank Dr. DWAYNE THWAITES, Barrie Hype, DJ Barrie Hype, and Reggae Boy Sound, I Am Voice for participating in this. But the information was so key and it was so informative, y'all, and it was so much that we had to make two parts of this. So this is part two to our men's health. We get into that whole carnival preparation for carnival, what we should do as DJs, what we should do as entertainers, in terms of making sure we get rest, in terms of making sure we get nutritional value, all right, out the gate, make sure that we good for the carnival season. All right. So, you know, I mean, that is something we have coming. Also, folks, I got some big news. All right. Started today. New radio show on 99.5 FM in Nassau, Bahamas. It's called Island Lunch with yours truly, D Life. It's a brand new show. It's pretty much a lunch break show. It starts at 12 noon and it goes until 1 o'clock. Just 1 hour lunch, featuring yours truly, D Life. I'm giving you everything. It's on 99.5 FM, urban radio station in Nassau, Bahamas, and Freeport. It is the home of the Steve Harvey Morning Show, so it's a big deal. And I'm honored to be doing this. I mean, to have this show. Yeah, man. Oh, they like that promo, right? Wicked. Yeah, man. Yo, big up to my boy Ike with the graphics and getting that promo for me. But this is it, folks. This is it. It started this Friday on 99.5 FM. You can listen every day, Monday through Friday, from 12 o'clock until 1 o'clock on global995fm.com. You can listen live for that hour. I'll be giving you a mixture of R&B, reggae, dancehall, the works. All right. It's a lunch break. It's a release. Get yourself, come out to lunch, enjoy yourself, enjoy some good music, and have a good time. Yeah. All right. So folks, look out for that. Big up to everybody that tuned in today. But next show is on Monday. Also, don't forget I Love Soca with Energy right here on Synergy each and every Saturday, y'all, from 2 o'clock until 6. All right. All right. With that being said, let's get to part two of men's health. Barrie, take it away. I was talking about sleep. Take it from here.
Power naps. So we have, let's say, for example, it's Trinidad Carnival and it's the weekend before Carnival week, and we have, 3 or 4 events for the night. As we're going from event to event, we have a driver, we're in the car, we're taking a power nap. Some of these journeys could be, you know it, D-Life, if you're in Port of Spain and your event is in San Fernando, that could be a healthy 45 minutes,
45 minutes
power nap. And we're literally out cold sleeping.
Provided the driver don't talk much.
And the key is to this is that you're not just resting your body, because if you're really that good at your craft, your brain also needs to be shut off for a little while. So you're getting the full amount of rest.
True.
If you can't do that, at least you're getting some is better than none.
None. Right. Right.
And
again, and we spoke about that. Yes, the power naps in between. I know it's work time and it's event time, and so you're pushing it. And one of the things that I look at is like training for back in the day when you were training to be a general surgeon in the hospital. You were getting no sleep. You work as a place like in Kings County and you're on call. And back in the day, as a general surgeon, we used to do on for 24 hours, off for 24 hours. And we did that for like 5 years. And that's how they train you. Like you're in the army. So you every other night you're off. So you would literally be working for 34 hours. So you try and get your sleep in between. And that was part of the identity of becoming what we call continuity of care. Your doctor should be able to really maneuver, and whenever you call me, when D-Life called me at 2, 3 in the morning, I should be up and in peak form ready to take care of D-Life. And that was part of the training. Nowadays, those training has gone out the door. People are now doing 40 hours or whatever. But that's how they used to train you. Every other night you're on call for 5 years of your training life. So you get to learn, you need to figure out when to do your power naps, when to eat, when to do, because sometimes you get caught off guard. Again, same thing with your DJ lifestyle. You got all these hours where the power nap becomes very, very important to you. One of the things I wanted to stress on, and this is with the alcohol, because there were some studies that came out that showed that just one Powerball brandy a night decreases your risk for cardiac events. And they were looking at the data and saying that they produces some lipoprotein A, which is cardioprotective. So it is recommended that at least one highball a night is good for your heart. But then we started to talk about Iron Voice drinking 2, 3 drinks in the night. And then what is the maximum amount of drinks we can take of alcohol? Again, the studies show one Powerball, one big drink. Again, you need to hydrate in between. And not only that, back in the day, these places were closed off, tight, air conditioning, and people inside there smoking, secondhand smoke, and all of these things. So the exposure to the DJs and stuff predisposes you to other disease entities, and it makes you sick because you're in these enclosures. Remember them clubs, boss?
Yeah, man.
Them clubs in New York City, man. You go down Alphabet City,
I can
you
tell
have
you.
a closed up room, and man inside there a smoke. So
Yeah.
you get in, and these things we learn as we go along. So people start to blame you for secondhand smoke causing lung cancer and all these kind of things. But it's hard to get a good balance. And the most important thing, you only do it for a period of time, Barry. And so you need to adjust and adapt. And as we talk about, being fit and ready before, get your exercising and doing all of this so that you can move forward with what you do. The most important thing, which I tell most of my patients, everything in life, the best thing you can do is moderation, what we call homeostasis. It needs to balance each other. So if you're going to be up for how much hours, the next day or when the event done, you catch back those sleeping time, all right? You make those back so your body will be happy. Moderation is the key to success. The yang and the yang, overdo, does kill us. So I advise 3, 4 drinks, you cut off. All right, because
No problem.
you know that after that you're going on the other side of it,
Right.
and then you dehydrate the next time. So you're always in good balance. The key word here is what we call homeostasis. Really balance everything in terms of water, juice, whatever. Do not overdo. Too much ice cream, too much of this. You know, we like to focus on what you like. And so you eat those things because and you want to overindulge. But you got to learn, as kids, your parents always tell you, do not eat too much of that. Only take them out. You know, you got a big appetite and you want plenty. No. Cut back.
Well, everybody know my vice is ice cream.
I'm
I
glad he
drink,
said
I don't
that.
smoke. Everybody know my vice is ice cream. I am a huge. I have it bad. I have a problem. I admit, I have a problem. I love ice cream. I really and truly, over the past months, I have brought it down a bit because I'll be honest, I used to every night.
Favorite flavor?
Vanilla, Haagen-Dazs. I will go. That is my go-to. That is my go-to. That hands down, the vanilla bean. I can't. Listen.
Yeah, I'm a vanilla bean guy.
And I will mix it with milk. I'm bad with it. And here my remedy now. I will mix it with almond milk, thinking of going the healthy route. So
I am going. So you ain't bad at all.
No.
Like don't drink, he has a bad vice.
Yeah, man.
you know,
back on something that the doc was saying, particularly pertaining to rest. So a buddy of mine, I don't remember which one, but he had read one of, to give a hypothetical, let's say it's Phil Jackson, you know, a coach of that era, that stature, that level of experience. And it wasn't a basketball, it was football as in NFL. What he would do, specifically this coach, with the older players, this was key, with the older players, let's say they played a game on the West Coast on Sunday, as they normally do. The younger players would be sent back, some of them on Sunday night and some of them on Monday morning. But what they would do with the older players is they would send them back Monday night, or if possible, even Tuesday morning, so they get more rest, because when you travel, that's taken a lot out of you. So I actually took that into my travel formula per se. There are times where I'm in Barbados and the party finishes at 4 o'clock and I have to be in the next island or the next city the following day because I have an event. It is what it is. But if I can, I try to put a day. This landing the day of show,
no more.
that's
No.
done. That's a rarity that I do that. Or if I do, let's say I'm going to Miami's there, Kingston is right there. Let's say I'm doing an event for a carnival event that night. Okay, I might fly in. But unless if I have to be back here tomorrow morning for something, I'm taking the last flight out the following day, or even spending one extra day to allow my body to recover and get that rest.
So you recommend that for us who travel, because sometimes, you know, my traveling is sporadic, you know. Usually sometime I have a time when I'm living on a plane, and then sometime I have a time when it's thing. But you recommend that when we're traveling, because I definitely know about that traveling. And I mean, I've had some time where you're putting your luggage under the DJ booth and you have to go play, and then you end up right back on the plane because you have to be at another city the next day. You know, and you're trying to rest on the plane. And I'm a man, I can't sleep on a plane, you know, which is another weird thing for me. So I have to get rest on, you know, in the hotel whenever I get there, or I have to wait till I come back home. So, but you're saying that also, because of course I was 18 minutes late, so sorry about that. But but that part does add wear and tear, is what you're saying. Because you know, being younger now, you feel like it don't bother you, you know. But
also compression sucks. Compression sucks. If I have a flight that is more than 3.5 hours. Usually three. Basically, if I'm flying from here to LA,
right,
if I'm flying from here to Europe, compression socks is not even a question. I automatically put those on. And I was taught that by my doctor, but the cosign came from people like Walshy Fire, you know, people who travel extensively. Says, yo, compression socks, very, very important.
Okay.
I always notice when traveling and I forget to put compression socks on, I have to take off my ring
because
I'm feeling my body starting to swell. And the second I put it on, no problems.
Hey, okay.
And those are important factors, especially for the long trips. I mean, the chances of picking at a pulmonary embolus is very high if you're sitting down for that long period of time. And so
Right.
what I usually do, I mean, if you don't really like, because lots of people don't like the compression sock, if you know you're going to be having a long trip, you're going to get up and walk around in the plane. You get up and move around, because those things cause compression of the vessels and makes the blood flow. And so you don't have stasis, so that you can develop clots in those areas. So very important factor, especially if you're traveling a lot. And traveling does take a lot out of you, because that's what I do. D-Life will tell you I'm in one island for one weekend, and then the next weekend. And even with these short trips, the 20 minutes, it drains you for some reason. You got to get up, you got to pack, you got to move. And so you're always on the move. It's important. And then one of the things that we take for granted is the fact that you need to have a personal manager. They organize everything for you while you get your rest. They make sure you are comfortable in your travel. But I know we start up, we don't have that means. And so that becomes, even if you don't have the personal manager, you end up with the wife to guide you into these kind of things, into these kind of things where they organize things for you so you can get that appropriate amount of rest. Again, remember your immune system. Depression, stress decreases your immune response and predisposes you to disease entities, and that becomes a very important aspect for that. You know, sometimes just having a little music in your head. I was actually trying to figure out look at some of the researches that are out there when it comes to music, because I know you guys were with the DJs and stuff like that. Going on the anesthesia, they will give you certain types of music to listen to. They think that when you're going for surgical procedures, that if the music that you listen to makes you sleep well and rest well, and when you're waking up from under anesthesia, depends upon the type of music that you do. But you'll be surprised to know which one of the music they thought was the best for putting you to sleep. And it was like rock and roll. And I'm like, what? And then we were looking at music and what you use to study. There's some people who can study with music in their head. And so rock and roll was the number one. When they put the rock and roll in your head and you go to study, they say you study faster, you read faster, and all these kind of stuff. So there's some of the things that we use. Music decreases your stress level. So if you play the right tune, Barry, we cool. You know what I mean? You cool down, your immune system comes back. So when you guys are inside the job, I mean, these are some of the things you need to think about. What kind of a music is going to help my people, you know, de-stress, get good, be happy, and enjoy. You know, at the last hour of the night, you might put on some lovers rock, and so that cool you down so you can go home and feel comfortable. But these things become important in the whole global issues of health. And people, you see, we're so narrow-minded, we don't think about these kind of things, but you guys, in essentiality, help us with our healthy habits, getting up in the morning and getting a good vibe in the morning from the music that you guys push out becomes important to your day, your whole day. You're in the office, whatever music they're playing, and we were looking at classical music and how it makes you feel and these kind of things. So it becomes important. So everything in a little bit, homeostasis, we got to put everything when you wake up, your fresh air, breeze, sea breeze. Seawater is one of the big things. Caribbean people love a beach. Sea can cure every disease.
But I hear it's true. Seawater.
I salt. We grew up here in that. Boy, go take a salt, because that is, you know what I mean? It's one of the best cures. But
yes.
Question now, you know this about me. I don't think Barry knows this. Iron Voice knows it because he on the show with me. But my issue is kidney stones, right? I have a tendency to develop kidney stones. It to the point where I had, I had multiple procedures. The last one I had, I think, was the most evasive one, and I think that kind of put a shock into me. where you see me standing here, you see I'm drinking my water and stuff like that. But that procedure, and you know, I would tell you guys, Dr. THWAITES here, Baba, my friend, was my, what you say, my condescending. I mean, talking to him, he didn't actually do the surgery, but he was there with me right through it, before it, in the middle, after me calling him, because that procedure, and that is something I don't wish on anybody, and is now, and which brings me to the question of, you know, preventing kidney stones, because it's something where is a buildup. So now I am on the potassium. I have to take potassium, right?
Potassium
Extra
citrate.
potassium, bananas and stuff like that. But they also give me the potassium capsule, but my intake of water, all right, I was told fluids, you know, make sure my intake of fluids is more than the average person. Because I used to think I'm drinking enough water. Apparently I wasn't.
Okay, and,
Right.
and so that becomes important. One of the good things about this kind of discussion is the basic principles. Again, we talk about the yang and the yang, the homeostasis, the balance, the appropriate amount of water. And so when we think about kidney stones, and you know, if you grew up in the Caribbean and you go to school, the more concentrated your urine is, the easier it is for stones, kidney stones to develop, be it with calcium or oxalate or any of those things that your body, if your body's overproducing those things, they will settle in your urine and they will form stones, because your body has to
I have I produce high calcium.
Okay, and so you have what we call hypercalcemia, which is you produce a higher incidence of calcium. And so, again, important, and the take-home messages, and for your audience who's listening and for you guys, is that dilution, the little thing they call dilution. If you drink more water, you dilute the concentration of your calcium and everything. And so the water that you drink will push the stone out, will push the calcium out, so it doesn't have a time to form stone. If you have stasis or any stagnation of the urine, where the urine accumulates in that area for any period of time, it's easy for that collection of water to form what we call crystallography. We did this in high school. You pour some salt into a container, a beaker of water, and you put a string in there, and by morning when you go back out, you have the crystals. And that is exactly the same thing that happens in your body with that. So if you drink a lot of water, you dilute those crystals, and so it don't get concentrated, and so it flushes out and it comes back. But for you, you might have what we call a metabolic condition. You are producing more calcium than normal, than Barrie or Iron Voice, and so therefore that sets up for you to have. So there are multiple reasons why people form stones. Majority of the times when you form stones, we call it idiopathic stones. About 85 to 95% of the stones that people form, we don't know why they form it, but that other percentage, we know you have a metabolic problem, you're overproducing too much calcium, uric acid, you're overproduction of uric acid, or you eat foods that has uric acid in there. Lots of the fish, sardines and stuff, bone, meat, this kind of stuff produces a lot more uric acid, so you have a lot more. So if you overdo, again, back to homeostasis, balance, if you overdo, you produce more of these things, which causes you to form stones. Things like oxalate. Oxalate is found in beers and grapes and cherry and water, all kind of stuff. And so that's the most common stone that we know, calcium oxalate stones, and those ones. And then you could have GI problems. Maybe you're absorbing more calcium than normal. Again, when we talk about the little GI and what pushes things into the body again. And then you have, when you excrete things in the urine, after your body gets it, if you excrete things low in high in citrate, with low in citrate, you form more stones. And so that's why they give you potassium citrates and stuff to help decrease it. And then also the other things that makes you form stones is the pH of your urine, what you eat. You eat more vegetables or more things that will cause your pH the lower the pH, the more calcium stones that are formed in the urine, and the higher the pH, the more uric acid stones that dissolve, and these kind of things that impact you. Again, your concentration of urine becomes an importance on what we call the specific gravity of the urine, you know what I mean? And so the specific gravity, if the specific gravity is diluted, that is, you have a low number, specifically less than 1.0, that means you're producing more water, so you wash out more. If the specific gravity is higher, it's concentrated, so you are predisposed to forming stones. These are some of the little things. I know it gets a little bit complex trying to explain all of this, but again, if you have an abnormal positioning of the kidney, that is, it's flipped around, that means that more urine stays in the tube, forms crystal, you produce more stones. So there are a bunch of different things. But the key factor in this is a lot of fluid so that you can dilute the urine so you don't have a chance for you to form crystals and get stones in forming in the kidney itself. But the good for you, D-Life, you're drinking plenty of water.
I'm drinking plenty of water now.
The ice cream with the almond milk.
Almond milk. But
we gotta look into that. And again, and then your diet becomes important. You know, and so these are important things, and important for men to hear, and men's health with that kind of a thing in mind. So it's important to understand these little basic things. So well-balanced diet, you control yourself, you eat right, you exercise, take your vitamin packs. I'm glad that you guys are mature now enough to understand you need some good rest. Because most of us don't think that we need this kind of thing. We're young and strong and we're vibrant, and we're going from fat to fat to fat to fat. You know the music there, Barry? Just hit me one of them too. From fat to fat, and we, you know what I mean? And you keep going. But again, if you prepare yourself for this, it becomes important. You can do it and do it well, and you get a little rest in between. Sometimes we want to hit 6 fats. You might want to cut that down to 2 or 3. And you can do it with fun. You could enjoy yourself better with all of that. A little less alcohol, iron voice, and you're good. You know what I mean? That becomes important. Again, well-balanced homeostasis, the yin and the yang becomes important to all of us. Moderation is the key. One of the great things about God, it makes you with 2 things. If you notice that 2 eyes, 2 nose, 2 lungs, 2 kidney, 2 foot, 2 hand, all it's a balance. Life becomes a balance. God send you the message. They're the yin and the yang. God send you the message from early. He gave you 2 of everything. 2 of everything, and you can easily be off balance with just 1, but you still can survive. But you always have that balance, and that becomes key. A well-balanced diet is important. Good sleep, 8 good hours, good solid REM sleep is important. I know you say you can't sleep on plane. Once I hit a plane, I fall asleep.
Man, I want to learn that, brother. I can't sleep.
I'll actually teach you one thing about that. Another mentor taught me this. So usually the long flights are the ones going from here across to Europe and back.
Yes.
So what they taught me is, and this is something that we've been doing for years. After you eat your Sunday lunch, what you want to do?
Sleep.
Exactly. So what they taught me is that before you get on that plane, go have a nice meal. Forget what they're serving you. Forget what they're serving you, because you know that ain't food anyway.
Right.
So what I normally do when I can is I go and I have a nice meal, and then that doesn't necessarily mean flying all the way to the UK. If I'm flying on an evening flight to Trinidad, I'll have me a nice meal. So when I get to the chair, unless if I have some work to do on my computer, I usually can get a decent 2-hour sleep, solid sleep from South Florida down, because you know. The radio correct term is itis.
right. The itis hits it.
The itis hit you. One of the things that becomes so important, that a good solid meal, and the whole concept of that is that the body draws the blood from all over and focus it on the stomach, so your brain goes into rest. And so this is how the itis thing comes about. Everything
Okay.
goes there to digest and then rejuvenate and push it back out. So you're going to the rest. Important. And people don't need to understand the type of sleep you get is important. Here I keep saying a good REM sleep. And they have all kind of different type, the D sleep, this kind of sleep. But if you get, and most of the literature will tell you, a good 10-15 minutes of a good REM sleep, you can do well for the rest of the day. It's important to understand that deep sleep.
I started sleeping with my watch now because it actually measures that. And that
Okay,
is how
good.
I'm able to differentiate the REM sleep. So this is where it put me in this space now with getting that 7 to 8 hours. But when I get up in the morning and I check it, I look for the REM because the Apple Watch now gives you that reading where it tells you how much REM you had. I don't know how it does do it, but it does measure and tell you how much REM. So usually it will tell me excellent if I get 7 hours or up, and then you will see it will break down REM core, and it breaks it down. But over that 7 hours, the REM is usually about, maybe you get about 50 minutes of that REM sleep, which is mind-boggling to me because to me I was out.
Out
Right?
cold.
I was
And
out
you
cold.
get what we call good nutritional sleep. It tanks the body up. It gives you energy. It does a lot for you. A good solid sleep completely out. It revitalizes the whole body. And we only need about 15 to 20 minutes of that good quality sleep to get a full night's sleep. It so becomes so important. But for me, I fall asleep anywhere, anyhow, under the speaker. You're sleeping with the noise on and somebody lock it off, and guess what happens?
You wake
You
up.
wake
Man.
You wake right up, so you're wondering, okay, yes, important.
Man.
It's just like if you
It's the same thing when you're flying on a plane and all of a sudden they're about to, they're no longer the cruising altitude. It's literally that dip and it wakes you up. Yeah.
You
It's
wake
the
up.
same thing.
Yep, same way. But I sleep anywhere I am, boys. I mean, and I think that was part of my training from back then. You need to know when to sleep. That's the point. If you can call sleep at any time, you're in good stead. And I think Barry knows how to do that. You give me 5 minutes. My friends don't want to give me 5 minutes sleep because I would just keep going. Ask D-Life. I would say that you just keep going. We keep going.
Yeah.
You get a good 5 minutes. They're driving from one fet to the other fet, as you say. You're not gonna lick a sleep in there, and you're good. And when you jump up, you're ready, you're full, energized. If you get the good rep sleep.
Yeah, the only place so far the only place I can't sleep is the plane. Everywhere else, we can knock out. We can knock out in our studio while we have music. I fell asleep in a dance right next to the speaker. I'm good with all of
Right
that.
next to the speaker, yes.
It's for whatever reason, it's just the plane. I just haven't mastered that yet, but hopefully I'll get there.
Listen, guys,
my wife has conversations with family and friends, and at some point she says, "I don't know how he does it. He hits the pillow."
God, yeah, man, me not no problem sleeping
like
for
that.
the most part, man. Yeah.
Yep. Same here. You put me, but I have a bad habit. I like to watch TV and fall asleep. But past couple weeks now, I'm learning to turn it off and just lay in the darkness. And you know what I mean? Usually I get elbow, like if I have the TV on too loud. You know what I mean? So I learned now to just turn it off and just lay down. And funny enough, when you do that, your body does really tell. It does just knock out. So I mean, rest is important, man. Listen,
yeah, man.
Doc, if there's we've heard the benchmark of what is it, eight glasses.
8 glasses of water.
Right. If we're in that working carnival event to event type mode, 8 glasses sounds like that's if you're doing an average day. On an event weekend, should I now be at 10, 15? What's your take?
That's true.
Well, I mean, again, and you look at your fluid balance becomes important. And this is what they don't talk to you guys about. And it's important to understand what we call is a fluid balance. We can tell you when you are overhydrated. And you know when somebody is overhydrated, how you know somebody is overhydrated is when you give them the water to drink, they piss it right back out. Your body has its thermostat that decides how much you have to take and how much it has to put out. So when like somebody comes into the intensive care unit and they're behind on fluid, or let's say they bled for a period of time, you put a catheter inside, you hook up an IV bag, and you give them the fluid. How you know that this person is tanked up, what we call tanked up, is that every time we run the IV fluid in, it comes out in the urine bag. Okay? So it goes into your system, but your body has enough water so it can't use it, and then so it pushes out. So the two things that controls your fluid is your heart and your kidney. Okay? If you have a problem with your heart, you can drink water as much as you want, the body not pushing it back out, and it stays inside and you become fluid overloaded. If your kidney is not functioning appropriately, so that when you take in the water, it pushes it back out, it makes you hold in the water and you get edematous, it gets swollen and everything. So the important thing that you need to take away from this, Barry, is what we call fluid balance. So if you have too much water in your body and you drink another glass of water, you will find yourself going where? To the bathroom to put it out. And that answers your questions. If you're dehydrated, your skin is dry, your lips are dry, your body is dry, and what the body tells you, you become thirsty and you need water. Okay? And so you can determine if you are healthy. Important to understand, if you're a healthy person, your body tells you when you need water, when you don't need water. And so if you drink the appropriate amount of water, you will not go to the bathroom too often, but you will go an adequate amount of time and you will feel hydrated because you're balanced. The day you find that you're not going to the bathroom enough, that means you're dehydrated. And if you're sweating, you lose water when you sweat and it comes out of your body. So what you need to do is replace that. And how we replace that again? And I call no company name, you replace it with water or Gatorade. And so, you know, something that will put you back in. And so you won't be, you would start to get juicy again because you have enough water. So it's important for you to understand that, yes, you know you have to drink some water, but you drink until you find that, well, I start to piss again. So that tells me I have too much water in, so you could stop at that point in time. If you find that your lips are dry and you're becoming thirsty, it means you want water. So your body does signal to you and tell you when these things are appropriate and when it's necessary. So, and that's for healthy people. Remember, I have to say so, because if your kidney not functioning right, you can't tell one, excuse me.
Is there a difference between being in a tropical environment and being where these two gentlemen are now, which is in New York,
Oh, yeah, the freezer,
colder than South Florida? Is there a difference in water intake? Because your skin gets dry because it's cold outside and everything else.
Right.
From the house too causes you to drink a lot of water too.
Yeah.
If your house
and
the heat that
And of course, again, and we spoke a little bit about thermoregulation and your body, your brain, and everything and function. Again, yes, you could be cold and your skin is dry. That doesn't tell you that you're dehydrated. It just tells you because your body, what we call vasoconstrict, to hold the energy in. Now, when you're hot, your blood vessels dilate to get the heat out of your body. These things make a difference. And again, we talk about sweating, in that when the heat comes out of your body because you're hot, you're sweating, your vasodilate, the water has to evaporate off of your body. So the heat from your body goes into that and it evaporates the water and it makes you cool. Again, when you're dry, when you're cold, your vasoconstrict. When you're up by where D life and them be, your skin dry because you're vasoconstricted, not much blood going out to the surface because you have to keep it in to keep your core temperature up at a little bit. And so, yes, again, regulation and body regulation with water intake is done by the body. You have what we call thermoregulations in your body. You have some in the brain, some around by the heart and the kidneys per se, which again signifies to you in a healthy person. Remember now, these break down if you have heart disease, if you have kidney disease, you really can't tell the body has a little bit of a problem doing the extrapolation. So you have to do it yourself to help you if you're that. So again, balance is important. Listening to your body. When you know when you want sleep, you have to sleep, right? The same thing comes in important with you for water intake again. And we look at balances. We know how much water you're supposed to put into your bladder. You should at least, if you have enough, you should be putting out about 25 to 30 cc's an hour of urine into your bladder. Okay? And so as the day goes along, you can calculate what you put out. In a good day, you need to put out at least 2.5 to 3 liters of urine. And so you know you need to replace that to get a good balance depending on what you do. So that's important, and this is where your 8 glasses of water and all of that thing comes into play. A good, well-balanced fluid intake and a good balance. If your body is in good shape, you will know when you have too much water, because then you will go to the bathroom. Now, I know some patients come in and see me all the time and tell me, oh, my doctor tell me that I'm supposed to put a newspaper and I could read every newspaper through that. That is not. You're producing too much water if you can read to a newspaper and see it. I must understand that urine means urea, and that is the breakdown products from your plants, your fruits, bases, and everything. And so that's why the urine is yellow. It's supposed to. If it starts to turn a darker brownish, it is too concentrated. If it becomes too light where you can read a newspaper and you have too much water inside your body. So these are some of the little tricks that you need to learn to understand about fluid balance and water intake. But your body answers all these questions. When you thermoregulate, it tells you what you need to know. Again, and you can also tell these, and we're going to a little esoteric with your testicles, because your testicles has to be a lower temperature than the body. Okay, and so when it's cold, we're up by D life and them, their testicles hanging down, because it's cold. It has to be, you know what I mean, get away from that. And so if you're down by you, Barry, we're pulling it up and the testicles come up. And this is how we understand these things for preservations of spermatozoas, for fertility and all that stuff. And so these kind of things can help you answer some of the questions. So you understand what I'm saying? Yes, there are adequate amount, but you can tell by what your body is signaling to you. It's important. If you're healthy, your body will give you all the answers. The yin and the yang becomes important.
Well said. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Well, I mean, Baba, I'm calling you Baba, but that is my nickname for him.
That's all right, man. I good, man. Men and all of that.
Thanks again, Dr. Thwaites, for taking the time out. Baba, taking the time out. Barry, thank you.
Respect,
Iron Voice, my brother. Thank you so
Bro.
much, you guys.
Yeah, man. I heard well,
Even there's a lot of things I just learned. I didn't even know about the I was always taught when your urine clear, you're good. Not knowing it's too much water, right? So, you know, tense, and then peeing right after you drink. That has happened to me sometimes too. Again, you know what I mean? So it's good to know, right? And like I said, balance, yin and yang, balance. All right, I will do every other night with the ice cream. Try.
I don't know if that's gonna balance out. Oh, there you go.
Thanks again, guys. Thank you so much.
No problem, and this was very informative. I'm glad that I was able to assist you guys in some of the questions. But we do have some basic general things that your doctors don't really explain to most people. Again, if we understand the physiology and the basic principles, which is, you know, growing up in the Caribbean and going to school, most of these things I'm talking about, you already learned in high school, so you can apply them to some of your healthy habits. It's important. There is nothing here that I have said to you that I read when I went to medical school or anything. These are basic principles from high school. You know, your crystallography, your little biochemistry, your little biology and everything, the physiology and just maintenance. If we could apply those to our health, we will be all right.
I love soca
with energy.
Tune in every Saturday from 2 p.m. till 6 p.m.
with DJ D Live and Iron Voice.
They got the music.
Your show is the best soca show I've ever listened to.
Best selector of the century. Dear Life.
The energy.
You have to beg, man. Baby love, come on, them. We are going. Hey, my girl, we are going, so.
That's a, kind of like an aggressive beg, though.
At Jamaica.
And the joke.
You should have there very early.
We need just here from 2 o'clock.
As a matter of fact, play your commercial.
No problem.
Play your commercial.
Live on Soundchat Radio.
And syndicated on Synergy TV.
Every Saturday, 2 to 6 p.m.
The most entertaining show on your Saturday.
There's a grace period of 2.5 years old.
What?
Where baby father supposed to go there and everything good.
Even if they're not together.
Listen to me, man. A baby father.
DJ D Live.
And Iron Voice.
Double trouble, we say.
All right, folks. So that is it. Men's health. Talked about sleep, getting enough sleep. Talked about nutrition. Talk about it, just the whole 9 yards, man. So I want to first thank Dr. DWAYNE THWAITES, Baba, my partner in crime, a good friend. All right. Also, I want to thank BARRIE Hype for taking out the time out. And I also want to thank Iron Voice, Michigan, from Reggae Boy Sound for also participating in it. The men's health series, people, I will be continuing it. I think I want to do another one before the carnival season, but this one with artists. And also, again, I'm going to have Dr. DWAYNE THWAITES on because he is that guy. All right. Straightforward, you know, explains it like it is. He doesn't sugarcoat it. He tells you like it is. So, folks, on that note, I want to close off with, right now, I'm going to do this series leading up to Carnival, where I pick, you know, what I think, a song that hits in for me. And I want to kick it off with my good friends, Full Blown, because it's something about Respectfully Yours. It is something about that tune, Respectfully Yours, people that have it. You understand me? That tune, have it. Something about that tune is like a good spirits on steroids. This is, I will close off with this one. This is Full Blown with Respectfully Yours. My pick right now for this week on Fusion. Yeah, man, we out. Peace and love in the streets, y'all. D-Life, I am out of here, all right? And remember, if you want to hit me up, just email me, fusionlife2020@gmail.com. Easy like that. You understand? It don't get better than that. We are out of here. Peace and love in the streets, y'all.
Ladies, morning. Hello. You have a big dance later, no? What are you for?
I mean, maybe.
No, it depends. It's not good enough. Trust me, it's going to be the greatest party ever. Trust me. The only thing it's missing is all your...
Hey, eyes on the target. Come on now, man.
What's your number on top there? That's mine.
Okay.
WhatsApp me. I'll send you a location, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Dog. Them girls look like they want
Yes,
to
boy.
get
Yes, boy.
Baby, when you whine on me.
Somebody get the phone, go on the telephone.
I get wet. I get wet. I get wet. I'm looking all through the party. I hope I find you there. And when I hold on your body, I'm gonna say my name. Like this is respectfully yours. Don't in a party, me and my baby, grooving and jamming, grooving and jamming. The music sweet and we feeling sweet. I ain't ashamed to say every night and day. I want to wave, I want to whine, I want to party with you. I want to love you right, yeah. I want to wave, I want to whine, I want to party with you. When the rhythm pumping up, it's everybody jumping up. We sweating, we sweating. And when the sun is blazing, it's party like we crazy. We fetting, all are we fetting. Take a trip, dance a dance. Everybody saying something, but you talking the loudest every time. I'm coming back, I only want to fetch with you. I'm looking all through the party. I hope I find you there. And when I hold on your body, I will not say my name. Like this is respectfully yours. Don't in a party, me and my baby, grooving and jamming, grooving and jamming. The music sweet and we feeling sweet. I ain't ashamed to say every night and day. I want to wave, I want to whine, I want to party with you. I want to love you right, yeah. I want to wave, I want to whine, I want to party with you. Wine on me.